How's it going, ladies and gents? It's Jeff with I Download Blog. We have Sebastian Page on the line as well. What's up, Sebastian? How you doing?
Hello, Jeff. I'm doing good. How are you today?
I'm pretty good. Can't
So
complain.
we are back at being the two of us today, huh?
Yes, I think Cody, he's doing something.
Yeah, Cody is moving out. He is actually moving. I was going to say across country, but it's not quite across country. He's moving from Oregon to Texas.
He's going down.
He's going down. Yep. So I think he's going to be out for the week, and hopefully he will be back on schedule with us next week.
Yeah. Wish him the best with all that. Moving's a pain.
Yeah, but I think he's getting pretty good. He's got some movers who came and packed for him and put everything in a truck, and they drive everything down south. So basically, what he has to do is take his car and his girlfriend and drive down to Texas with his car, and that's it.
He has the white glove delivery.
Yeah, the white glove delivery. That's it.
Sounds good, man. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, if you can, yeah.
What else is new?
Not much. Not much. I've been keeping busy with your side projects I have right now. I can't tell much right now, but I guess people will figure it out in the future. I was coming in my office today and I see this big box of IDB t-shirts that I made a couple of months ago, maybe. And the box has been sitting here. I've got 24 t-shirts, or I guess a little less since I've been wearing some of them. I got, say, 20 t-shirts. I've got 20 t-shirts in there, and I don't know what to do with them. My friend told me she's a designer, and she actually designed, if you can say design, because it's a very simple t-shirt with a logo on it in the back. And so it's very simple. She said you should sell it. You should sell it. These t-shirts actually cost quite a bit of money. You just sell them at cost, and then it's free advertising for the site, and people are happy and stuff. But I was thinking about giving them away, but I don't know if.
Something tells me giving them away is probably going to be the most popular.
Yeah.
Request.
You know how some websites, and I'm thinking about Daring Fireball, John Gruber. Every year he comes up with a batch of t-shirts, and he has a certain amount for sale. And these are the.
It does it like twice a year, doesn't it?
Maybe twice a year.
Something like that.
And he has a certain amount of t-shirts, and once they sell out, and that's it. And that's great because it's additional revenue for him.
Yeah, I think that used to be like his primary revenue booster.
Really?
And his shirts are like super high quality because they're American Apparel cotton.
That's actually the one I have is American Apparel as well. Yep. Well, let's talk. Yeah, I'll send you one. They're fairly basic, but I like them. They're very comfortable and they're not obnoxious. The logo is not like in your face and.
Yeah, I can't really deal with that. I need to have something.
The t-shirt is a dark gray, and the logo and it's the app icon on the front. It's what I call IDB blue. Like the blue you can see on IDB on the headlines, for example, or on links. That's this same blue, and it's not the full-on logo with all the shades of it. It's just the outlines of the logo. So you have like the app icon around it, and you have the letters, and you have the download bar going up, and that's it. There's not much.
There's nothing on the back either?
On the back is the full logo.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
And again, it's the same thing. It's not the actual logo you see on the side. It's a downgraded version of the logo.
No gradients.
No gradients, or else it's not impossible, but it's very expensive, and more importantly, it's not good looking. My friend told me, recommended against it. She said it's not going to look good. There's too much going on in your logo. It's too busy. So
that's one reason I like Gruber's shirts, because they generally look appealing. I mean, it's something I wouldn't mind wearing out.
It's like at least twice a week I go to yoga with them. I just go to, I'm going down.
Should I wash clothes this week, or hit the stash?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so I don't know what to do with this because additional revenue would be nice, but that would be very very small revenue compared to what we need to get the site going. So maybe a giveaway would be the best thing to do.
Yes, indeed.
I shall think about it.
Yeah, do that. I'm sure the readers will be happy and the listeners would be happy.
Hmm.
So, in the past few weeks, there's been a lot of iOS news as far as rumors and leaks, and there's all sorts of leaks going on right now with cases and plastic parts and buttons, and it's just crazy, really.
And it's the same
But
every year. It's the
it
same for
is.
every device. And
But I think this year is a little more just because there's more variety coming up, I
right.
believe. Yeah. But yeah, generally it's the same. It's the same story every year. The people behind it may change, but it's the same story. But with that in mind, we kind of, I don't want to say veered off the path, but maybe we've gotten a little, sidetracked with the topics, wouldn't you say?
You mean on the jailbreak? On the jailbreak on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yes, we've been talking a little too much, I think, about non-jailbreak related topics, and I'm not I'm not against it, but the name of the podcast is Let's Talk Jailbreak, and I believe it's one of the only podcasts that only focuses on jailbreaking out there. There might be some, but I don't know of them. Um, and if we water down all this or a podcast with general Apple news, well, we kind of lose focus here. And maybe this whole Apple News talk would be good material for a different podcast. Let's talk iOS, something like that, where we would only talk about Apple general news and nothing jailbreak. Um, so so I think we should try to recenter, refocus a little bit more on jailbreak stuff, and of course we'll still be talking about general Apple news and leaks, and especially, I mean, the iPhone 5s is going to be announced very soon, so we'll definitely be talking about this on the podcast, and we'll go out of our way to not talk about jailbreaking and focus on more important stuff. Um, but as much as we can, I think we should, stay on topic and talk jailbreak.
Yeah. And really just let us know what you think about that. I mean, we want to hear, we've already seen some feedback
Mm-hmm.
over the past few weeks, but it's important that you leave comments and so we can kind of see what you think about what we're talking about.
Yep.
Because really, it's all about you guys. So, with that in mind, let's talk about the first item today related to jailbreaking, and that is, will you update to iOS 7 and potentially, well, not potentially, but lose your jailbreak? And I know we've brought this up before, but um, the previous time we kind of just touched on it. Sebastian wasn't here. So I kind of want to get your perspective, Sebastian. Will you upgrade to iOS 7 once it releases and lose your jailbreak?
Well, for me, the it's pretty simple. I have two iPhone 5s right now. I have one with iOS 6.1.2 or something. It's jailbroken. And I have my new iPhone 5, sorry, with iOS 7 beta on it. So when iOS 7 comes out, I know I'm gonna update my test device, as I call it, to the public release of iOS 7, and I'll keep my older iPhone 5 with jailbreak on it at least until hopefully a jailbreak for iOS 7 comes out. Excuse me. So this being said, if I'm probably one of the very few people out there who has the opportunity to have two iPhone 5s. If I only had one, if I only had a jailbroken device right now, and that was my only iPhone 5, would I upgrade to iOS 7? Um, after spending so much time with iOS 7, I think I would. Now that I know what it's worth, I think I would go out and use my jailbreak, hoping for the best, hoping an iOS 7 jailbreak would be released sooner than later. Um, but yes, I would update.
So why would you do that?
Um,
What does iOS 7 offer to you that makes it worth more than a iOS 6.1.2
it's
install
just the
device?
latest and bestest, and I like having the latest and bestest, and quite honestly, once you've tried iOS 7, it's extremely hard to downgrade back to iOS 6, even though it's jailbroken, even though with a theme you can make it look like iOS 7. Even though I terribly miss my by SMS right now, but I mean that's the most missed feature, and Zephyr as well. I really miss on iOS 7. But besides that, I can live, as I've been able to prove myself for the past few months. I can live with no jailbreak on a device.
Right. So what is your, I guess, what's the most outstanding feature on iOS 7 for you? What is it that makes it, I know the cumulative experience is good in itself, but is there just one feature that you just can't live without now?
On iOS 7, no, there's not one feature that I can't live without. I mean, I love the notification center. I love how you can pull it down from from the lock screen. Sorry, this is something that's really cool, I believe. I love, having a quick look at my calendar and see what's going on, or the weather in the morning when I dress my daughter. I don't have to like go out or pull out the application. I just pull down notification center. It tells me what's the weather going to be like for the day, so I know I can, dress her up in a dress or something, or put a coat on her. Um, it's just these little things that make the experience so much better, so much um, more fine, like very refined experience. And no, there's not one big feature out there that would make me do it. It's just all of these little things added up together, and that make me want to do it.
Right. So it's more of the whole of the whole is greater than the sum of the parts, basically.
Exactly. That's it. So what about you? What I mean, I know you have several test devices as well. What will you do? What are you gonna do?
I what am I going to do? Well, see, I have a test, two test iPod Touch. Is that how you say it? Plural iPod Touch,
Oh yeah,
or is it iPod
I
Touches?
don't know. iPod Touch, I would call it.
iPod, yeah, iPod Touch. I have two of those. One is a beta device, and one is a jailbroken device. And I also have my iPhone 5, which is jailbroken,
Hmm.
6.1.2. But that being said, I will upgrade to iOS 7. The thing is that's kind of interesting in my situation is that my iPhone 5 is on the fritz. It's almost dead. I've dropped it so many times. You know, I went caseless, that whole story.
Hmm.
I've dropped it so many times. This kind of goes back to your whole concern that we talked about maybe in episode 2 or 3 about what happens if I go caseless and I mess up my phone and I have to lose my jailbreak because I need to get it replaced. I think we talked about that like on the first or second episode.
Yep, that was at the very beginning.
Yeah. Well, I'm in that situation now. My home button or my sleep button does not work at all. It's completely functionless. So event,
Isn't it under warranty? Couldn't you
yeah, I
take
can
it
take it
back?
back. I mean, I could take it back right now. I even have Apple
But you
Care
would
Plus.
lose, obviously, everything.
Yeah, I would lose the jailbreak. So I've just
Yeah.
been kind of waiting for the perfect time, and I'm not certain if there is any particular perfect time to get this device replaced. Once that happens, of course, I'll go ahead and upgrade to iOS 7. But I still have my 6.1.2 device, which is an iPod Touch.
Hmm.
And I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. Just kind of, I mean, I just felt too cluttered. You know what I mean? So I've gotten rid of a lot of devices, and I'm kind of down to just the essentials.
At the end of the day, since there's going to be a new iPhone, and we are going to buy it, I assume you will too. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. Even if I didn't have several iPhone 5 right now, a couple iPhone 5s, I would just get the iPhone 5s or whatever it's going to be called, and it's going to come with iOS 7. There's no option here. And then I keep my iPhone 5 with my jailbroken device, my jailbroken
Right. And
OS.
the thing is, I mean, iOS 7 is going to drop right around that same time. It may be, a week earlier or a week, I don't know, somewhere around those parts. Usually it's early, isn't it, for the existing
Yeah, I
devices?
think last year, I believe last year, if my memory is correct, they released it about a week before the iPhone 5 came
Yeah.
out.
So, if you can wait that week, I mean, big deal. It's just going to kind of depend on you. But in a nutshell, what we're saying, both of us agree that yes, we would upgrade our devices.
It doesn't mean that everybody should upgrade. Again, it's a case per case basis, as always. Some people might think it's not worth it to lose the jailbreak to go to iOS 7.
If you
Um,
have two devices, it's a no-brainer.
it's definitely
Yes.
a no-brainer.
You have just one, you're going to have to be a little more selective on whether or not you think it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, with the whole jailbreak discussion, what do you think the future holds for jailbreak tweaks in general? What would you like to see?
I'd like to see a better usage right now of Control Center. Um, I really like Control Center. I like the concept of it, but uh, nothing in there fits my needs. You can't customize anything in there. You can't rearrange um, different toggles. You're basically stuck with what you're given, and it's probably gonna work out fine for most people, but we're not most people. We are tinkerers. We like to make things our own ways and stuff. Um, so right now, I really would like an iOS 7 jailbreak and developers focusing a little bit on the control center. Um, that would be my first the first thing on my wish list for iOS 7.
Yeah, one of the things I don't like about Control Center is that it isn't content aware. Like if you open up Control Center, even if you don't have any music playing, it still shows this big old music control window
Mm-hmm.
that takes up more than half your screen. But I don't have anything playing. I just rebooted my iOS 7 device. I just pulled up Control Center, and it's this big old ugly display with. I mean, it's useless right now because I don't have anything playing.
And I'm still very upset about Control Center that this pull-up gesture was used for Control Center when before it was used for us jailbreakers. It's used mostly for Zephyr, really. And I'm still very upset that Apple didn't come up with a gesture to not replace the home button, but to be on top of the home button. Something you could use the home button, or you could use a gesture to go back to your home screen. And I really thought they were going to come up with this in iOS 7 before it was announced. I really thought I was like, okay, they're going to come up with a Zephyr-like feature in there, and it's going to be a swipe up because it is the most natural gesture for going back to the home screen. It just takes your thumb, and it's at the bottom of the screen, so it's really easily accessible. Yet that did not happen.
When's the last time you pressed your home button?
Well, now that I run iOS 7 every day on my iPhone 5, it's every day. But on my jailbroken iPhone 5, I would rarely, if ever, press the home button.
Yeah.
It's just
So you would like to see a Zephyr own iOS 7, basically.
yes, I would love that very, very much.
Of course, quick reply is something we both can agree on.
Yeah, obviously. And I still wouldn't be surprised if they came up with it when they announced the iPhone 5, when a sort of like one more thing kind of thing. They wouldn't call it one more thing because it was Steve Jobs' thing to say. Um, I still wouldn't be surprised if it came up with it. It's just so obvious It is
Obvious.
obvious. It is very
It's
obvious,
in Mavericks.
and it's much needed. You know, it's more than obvious. It's needed. It's required. It's necessary. It should be mandatory.
It should be.
Yet it's not. So we'll see. And again, all this talk is assuming we're gonna have an iOS 7 jailbreak, which I really hope we will. Um, Something I was thinking about too, you know how it seems there's a lot of App Store developer we're gonna have to maybe not rebuild from scratch the application, but at least give them a new skin to fit good on iOS 7. Um, and a lot of these developers, it seems they will be charging full price once again for the app. It will not be an app update, basically. It will be a new app in the App Store. Uh, and I was wondering if we'll see developer do the same thing on iOS 7 jailbreak devs, do the same thing on iOS 7 if or when we have a jailbreak. That's something because that's something I think we saw with iOS 6. You know, there was a bunch of tweaks that were updated for iOS 6, and they were, you know, not considered as an upgrade, an update. They were just, you know, the standalone app with, you know, you had to pay for it once again. I think Intel ScreenX was one of them. Um,
I think the only time you're going to see that happen is when it's more of an app and not so much a tweak. Like if it's just a tweak that is changing some of the underlying functions of iOS, it doesn't have to have a new UI
mhm,
design, doesn't have to have new skins or anything like that. It's just a couple of updates to some
mhm,
pointers or something. I don't know. Then no, there's no need to recharge. But if it's like a complete super in depth overall, which Intel ScreenX, I mean, let's face it, it was, or if it's something that needs a complete UI redesign, you have to hire a designer or something like that, then yes, I think it's fair that they can charge again. It's such a dramatic change between 6 and 7.
I agree.
He agrees.
He does.
Let's talk about this unthreaded jailbreak.
Yeah, what's up with these guys?
Honestly, I don't know what to say to this.
Okay, first, I mean, the guys came up with an actual jailbreak for a certain device on iOS 5. That's right.
Yes.
I was out of town. I was actually out of the country when that happened, and you know, I kind of looked at it, but from far away, and since it wasn't, you know, the most exciting news, you know, a jailbreak for an iPhone 4 running iOS 5. I mean,
CDMA.
what are the odds? You know, what are the odds you have one of those right now?
What are the odds you even want to use it? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Um, but I think they did this to prove they could release something. Um, and now there is this whole, like, the way they communicate, you know, on Twitter or on their website, or in a hashtag, and the letter, the vowels are missing, and it just annoys the hell out of me. Like I'm trying to read this, I feel like I need to decipher it. You know, I have to think about it when I read, and I'm like, why do you do this? And
Yeah, and the tool that they supposedly released, was it a few days ago, which was, I can't remember what it was. It was, I don't know. But as it turns out, Christine Chan from App Advice,
mhm,
I think she tweeted out that it was just a tether boot utility.
mm,
Uh so it wasn't really like a jailbreak at all. It was just like, you know how in Red Snow you would just boot tether.
yeah,
How you can do a tether boot, and it was for Linux. I think it's Gentoo. All the nerds are gonna like
whoa,
kill me because I
oh,
pronounced it wrong.
yeah, but I mean, again, what are the odds that you need this to?
Well, the fact that it takes that type of that distro of Linux, which is your average person is not going to be able to configure that to install it. It's not like a simple um, what's like the Ubuntu. I think that's the most popular Linux distro right now. It's super easy to install. Anyone can do it. It's mindless. But with this distribution, you have to know what you're doing. I mean, it takes hours to configure it. So and that's the distro that he recommended that people use to run this tool. So nonetheless, I don't think anyone, maybe a handful of people have actually used it.
So I was talking to someone about it the other day, and this person came up with a good idea as to why they would communicate in this way and why they would be like not obnoxious, but not very friendly or not very like you know like you don't want to be friend with them kind of thing. You know, they don't. I don't know. They're kind of off. They're kind of odd. And so this person told me that the goal behind this was that these guys, and there are several of them, um, have some material, have pieces that they're trying to put together that could turn into a jailbreak for iOS 6.1.4. So they've been releasing these things and in the past and communicating in this way to make it sound like they are not very serious, they are not, you know, like pros, so that just in case they never come up with a jailbreak for iOS 6.1.4, as they've been claiming they would, you know, people will be like, oh, well, we knew they were fakers, you know, we knew they were fake from the beginning. It was very strange and very odd and stuff.
We are not
Yeah,
fakers.
yet if they do come up with a jailbreak for iOS 6.1.4, whatever 6.x version, or maybe even 7, which I doubt,
And they're
then
geniuses.
they're going to be the geniuses. So no matter what happens, they're going to be fine. First, because most people don't know who they are. And so, you know, their own personal name won't get dirty because of that. But yeah, if it doesn't happen, doesn't happen. People will be like, yes, we knew. And if it happens, they will be the geniuses.
Yeah. Yep. A good
Yeah,
synopsis.
I don't know if
So
that's the whole idea behind it, but that's it. There's a couple of people, I know a couple of people that are on this team, I guess you can call it. I think you probably know them too. And there's still one or two more on the team that I'm not sure who they are. They're definitely not Joshua Hill, POSIX Ninja. You know, there was kind of rumors or chatter that he was on it. He's not, that's for sure. He is
you
not.
want to drop some names?
No, I don't. I can't. I said I wouldn't.
Sebastian.
No, I said I wouldn't. So I can't. Not even. And even if I did, that wouldn't. The puzzle would still be the same, basically. You know, that we wouldn't go forward by knowing two of the people who are behind it. What I can say is, you know, it's not some muscle nerds. It's not Pod2G. It's not Planet Being. It's none of the evaders. None of the people that have recently come up.
It's not GeoHot.
No, it's not. No. I don't know what's up with this guy. I wonder what he's now talking about it. What is I wonder what he's up to these days. Is working at Facebook or something, or on Chrome or something? I don't know. Anyway, so that was an article talk about Unthreaded. Honestly, I don't have much hope about it, but if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, we won't be disappointed or we won't be surprised. So that's the whole beauty of their approach to it.
Right. All right. Well, let's talk about some other exciting jailbreak news, and that was JailbreakCon, or the worldwide jailbreak conference. Happened this past weekend in New York. New York, New York.
I'm so bummed. I'm so bummed that I was not there.
I'm surprised you didn't make it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. Up until the beginning of August, I was gonna go there. I was gonna go, And then we came home from our 6 weeks vacation, and the last thing I wanted to do was get on the road again and fly cross country, and then get in a train for an hour and a half to go to a venue in New York State, because it's not in New York City, it's in New York State. It's a little north of New York City. So it wasn't as straightforward of a trip as I would have wanted it to be. Um, and that's this plus the fact that when I started looking at the flight tickets to get there, the prices were just outrageous. You know, it was kind of not last minute, but last month, I guess, last month's planning, and the prices were just crazy. Um, and I was not going to pay more money for a flight to New York than I did for a flight to Paris. It was just a matter of principle at this point. And so I just decided not to go, and my wife was very happy that I didn't have to go, and I get to spend more time with my daughter this weekend, which was awesome. But still, I'm a little bummed out because I went last year for the first JailbreakCon here in the US, and that was just awesome. It was just one of the best moments of my of last year for me, for sure. I had such a great time with everybody and all the guys that we all know and have come to love, at least for their skills and what they do for us. Um, so yeah, no jailbreak con for me this year. What about you? Did you even think about going there at some point, or?
Honestly, no. If it would have been in San Francisco again, or in California, definitely would have considered.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I told um, Craig Fox, the guy who's putting this up all together, last year when he said, "Oh, I want to do this in New York," I said, "This is a big mistake to do this in New York, for two reasons. One, New York is extremely expensive. It's much more expensive than San Francisco, at least when it comes to traveling and lodging and all that stuff. And two, most developers are in California or around San Francisco. They're not in New York. And if they are in New York, they're not upstate New York. They are, in New York City. Um, so I didn't warn him. I wouldn't say I warned him, but I told him what I thought about this, and he went the New York way anyway. And I think he realizes, because I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. I think he realizes that maybe that wasn't the best idea to do this there. But maybe San Francisco would have been a better choice.
So how was the turnout? Because I mean, I've been following it, but not as closely as I did the initial.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't follow much of it either. I've been really, really flaking, and I had family stuff to do over the weekend, so I couldn't get up on the live stream and watch all this stuff or try to read about it because I was just busy with other things. Um, but I think two things came out of it. I mean, probably much more than that, but at least in our vision field, two things came out, and I believe Cody was the one who reported back on one of them. Um, the first thing is the re-release of OpenJailbreak by Joshua Hill plus 6 Ninja. So it's been pretty um, obscure so far what this Open Jailbreak website is about. And he gave us a little bit more explanation of what it is. For example, I see, I'm looking at the post we have on IDB about it, and there's this slide from his presentation that is, what is Open Jailbreak? Well, first point, which probably is the most important, it's not really a jailbreak at all. So it's, if you think it's a jailbreak, no, it's not. He says it's a part of a bigger plan, like a bigger master plan. So it's just one piece of the puzzle. And the goal of all this is to keep jailbreaking sustainable for future generations. It sounds like we're talking about renewable energies here, like solar energy or something. But
It sounds so dramatic.
yeah, it does sound a little dramatic. So
I
this
could
being
just see
said,
somebody looking off to the sun with a commercial plan, like squinting, looking off in the distance. Our goal is to keep jailbreaking sustainable for your ground
Um,
children.
um,
No, but
so
this is serious stuff.
it's a serious stuff, and there's another slide. It's about basically what would it be about? Um, what would it contain? What would we find on this website? You find open source components from green poison and absinthe jailbreaks. Probably the most important thing in there, there's going to be a bug issue and feature tracking. So non-developers can contribute. You know, like sometimes, and I could see this last year at JailbreakCon, and that was something that Pod2G was talking about, not on stage, but we were talking about it. He was looking for a way for people like you and me, or probably with a little more skills, like hacking skills, um, a way for these people to get in touch with, um, some of them, like the evaders or dev team or like big name hackers, and report what they found. If they have a crash report of some sort, or if they think they're onto something in some ways, they could report that so that someone like Pod2G would be able to look at it and say, okay, this is useless stuff. Or, oh, yes, I can actually do something about this. Maybe that's a piece of a bigger picture here. So I think this bug reporting part of OpenJailbreak um, might be a way to collect many, many more possible um, potential exploits or beginning of an exploit.
Right. And this isn't the first time that this, something like this has been put out because I know in the past there have been tools that have been released so people can submit their crash reports to the developers so that they can,
Right.
wade through those to try to find potential
Mm-hmm.
exploits as well.
Mm-hmm. But it seems to be the one that's gotten maybe the most
Traction.
traction, and it's a standalone thing. Yeah, it's a standalone app or website. So it's not doing 40,000 different things. It's just you just go there and you can report on what you found. And of course, there's going to be more stuff. There's going to be wikis and a forum and it's a,
Is the form running yet? I know I see like a login, but
yeah, I don't think so.
I don't see a form yet. So maybe maybe you have to log in first to access that, but I think they would probably just have it listed.
Anyway,
Sure.
so that's something that might hopefully come in handy in the future, and hopefully some people who have hacking skills will be able to get in touch more easily and report what they found with people like POSIX Ninja.
Right. I think it's a really, really good
Yeah,
idea.
it is.
I mean, just looking through the website now, it's just there's a wealth of information already and it's just beginning. So yeah, good job.
Good job, POSIX Ninja. I don't know who made the graphics on this thing. I wonder if it's Chernix on the website, like
Maybe, yeah, the apple,
the
the
drooling,
bleeding apple,
the bleeding apple.
the melting
Uh,
apple.
yeah, that's kind of cool. That could totally be his tag too. Anyway, so that's it for Open Jailbreak, I guess.
Yeah, we do have Tweak Week though. Tweak Week 2.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting too.
And this is going to
Uh,
happen after iOS 7 jailbreak is released. So I think that lends a lot of momentum to getting this jailbreak out as soon as possible because
yeah,
Tweak Week, the original Tweak Week was, as you guys probably already are aware of, was a little initiative where a developer each week he would put out a new open source jailbreak tweak every day of the week. And there was quite a few participants last time. This time there's over 20 different developers on board for this. So that's what 7 was it? Did they release it every day or was it a Saturday and
yeah.
Sunday too?
That was every day, I believe.
Even Saturday and Sunday?
That's a good question.
Well,
That was 2 years ago.
it was. It was like back in June of 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that. But say, all right, let's just say there was 5 tweaks released. One on Monday, one on Tuesday, etc. That's what 5, 20 developers, that's 100 different tweaks potentially, over 100 tweaks that we can possibly get from this TweakWeek 2.
That's pretty amazing.
Free at that.
Yeah, it's free.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And even, what I like about this too is, even if the tweaks we're gonna get are not gonna be the best tweaks out there and the most helpful or whatever, could be probably some of them are gonna be a little gimmicky. Um, it's just great, like you have all these people coming together and try to do something really quick, or it sounds like a hackathon, like everybody is getting together and they try to think about something clear, solutions to a problem or something. And I like the concept of this. I really like the concept of TweakWeek.
Me too. And it not only, like you said, generally the tweaks are going to be really simple because what you have a day to create it and get it out.
Hmm.
But a lot of the good ideas start from this. And these tweaks can be built upon later. But it's a good idea resource, I think. Looking forward to it, definitely.
Definitely.
So that pretty much covers all of our jailbreak news. But I know we had a few tweaks that came out this past week as well.
Yeah.
Few interesting ones. Um, which one did you? Which one caught your eye the most?
Um, well, we had seen a preview of Reminisce before, so um, technically this one didn't catch my eyes the most. But if I hadn't seen the previews before, that would have been the one. I think Reminisce is probably the tweak of the week, at least from last week. That was the most useful, that was the most elegant, especially compared to some theme that we've talked about last week. Um, so that's the one
You
that
talking
really
about
caught my
Microsoft
attention.
Paint?
Yes, I'm talking about
Microsoft
this
Paint
one.
was awesome.
Oh my god, that was terrible.
It seemed to be pretty popular amongst you.
I like the comments on this post. Still better than some iOS 7 icons.
Oh man, that's cold blooded.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. And then this guy's like, iOS 8? Question mark? That's kind of fun. Yeah, that's kind of witty. Yes.
The Reminisce is cool though. It's the tweak where you can slide anywhere on the left or right side of the screen and access your last 5 used apps. And they pop into view really quick. It's just a really, really fast way, an efficient way to get to your recent used apps. I love this tweak.
I like it too. So you've been using it for a while, and I know there is I think there is a an option in settings about this tweak that you can actually make it work fine with Zephyr by activating the tweak with a activator gesture, right? Which kind of defeats the purpose of it, but
You can do it, yeah. Because obviously it interferes with Zephyr. So
mhm,
I just uninstalled Zephyr.
you did.
Yeah.
Good for you. You gotta get ready for iOS 7, so might as well, lose the habit.
The next one we had is GingerLock. Oh, how much was Reminisce, by the way? Was it
Uh,
$1.99?
yeah, it's $1.99. It's on the Big Boss repo.
Yeah. GingerLock was the next one. And that's a gingerbread, which is Android, I think, what, 2.3, something like that. I don't know. Android something.
Yeah.
GingerLock is the gingerbread lock screen on iPhone. I didn't really. I mean, I like the concept, but yeah, I'm not really feeling it.
No, I think plus we've seen so many of these lock tweaks recently or in the last 2 or 3 months that it's kind of getting overwhelming right now. It's like there's too much, like we don't need all these tweaks. And I'm gonna take the risk of sounding a little harsh, but we don't need GingerLocks. There are probably tweaks out there that there's definitely tweaks out there that do pretty much the same thing. Maybe not in the same style, but they do pretty much the same thing. And
Well, JellyLock is
JellyLock is one of them.
yeah, that's your baby.
Yeah, that's my baby. Yes. Um. So, I mean, again, I welcome the creativity and someone spending time and putting this out there, I can completely appreciate this. What I'm saying is that did we really need
You're,
GingerLock?
you're too PC, Sebastian.
What's that?
Politically correct. I
No,
appreciate
because
this,
no,
but I
because
hate
I
it.
don't want to sound like the guy who's just here to destroy everything that passes by, and I don't want people to comment on it or tell me, so you hate everything, because if I didn't put these words of warning that or these politically correct wordings, that's what people would think, and that's not the case, and I mean it. I really mean it. I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm just I mean it when I say, I appreciate it and everything. It's great effort, but I also mean it when I say, did we need GingerLock? And my answer is probably not.
So good job, good effort.
Yeah, I hope I'm not offending anyone. The goal is not to, when I criticize, the goal is not to offend anyone. It's not a personal thing,
I don't think
and
anybody thinks that, Sebastian.
and
If anyone's listened to this show enough, they know that that's not your personality.
yeah, that's true. I guess maybe my wife would beg to differ, but but yeah. So anyway, that's my point of view, and everyone is entitled to its own. And maybe maybe some people are gonna love this tweak.
I think some will.
It's very well designed. It's visually appealing, I would say.
Yeah. So let's talk about, since we're talking about visually appealing things. We did touch on it briefly, but paint is
Hmm.
visually appealing. It's that jailbreak um, theme that brings Microsoft Paint, which is the iconic Microsoft app that allows you to draw. And it usually produces a lot of crude drawings, but if you're skilled with paint, you can really make some cool looking stuff. Like if you know how to use the application, you're a good artist.
That is, and you said it. That is, if you are skilled, which obviously this guy was not.
It's not the prettiest theme, and it doesn't support many app icons. There's just a handful it does. But hey, if you're looking for something different, then you want to try out Paint because it's free and it's available on Cydia's what Big Boss Repo. Check it out. Report back. Let me know what you think. VLC Gestures is another one. I like this one.
Yeah, this one is pretty cool if you use VLC for
Yeah.
sure.
This allows you to use like swipe gestures to control VLC. So if you swipe to the left, you can go back 10 seconds or 30 seconds or something like that. If you swipe to the right, you can go forward a few seconds. If you swipe up on the right side of the screen, I believe that adjusts the volume. If you
Yep.
swipe down, it turns down the volume. Swipe up, turns up the volume. The left side of the screen is the brightness adjusting. And then there's a nice little heads up display that pops up to tell you what you're actually doing, what your gesture is performing, just to let you know what's going on. I really like this.
Yeah, it's very well done. It's very useful. It feels very almost native, like it was meant to be there, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it allows you to control VLC with, I don't want to say like one hand, but it makes it easier, just more intuitive. Like you said, it feels native,
Hmm.
and that's free. I think that's on the ModMy repo.
Yes, it is. So yeah, if you're a VLC user, that's probably something you would want to check out.
So, what do you got planned for the rest of the day?
Um, what time is it? It's 3 o'clock. So I'm gonna be I keep working on my little side project, I think.
Can you tell us what it is?
No.
It's top secret.
Yeah. What about you? What do you have going on? What's the rest of your day look like?
Maybe go for a run. Um, I don't know. That's pretty much it. I'll have on my plate. Just go for a quick run at the park and maybe go to the gym or something.
Listen to this guy. All about working out, running, going to the gym.
You got to try to stay in shape.
Yeah, I know it's hard.
It's hard when you sit for 30 hours a week.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm in the same boat, so I know how it feels.
All right, man. Well, maybe we'll have Cody back next week. He gets moved in successfully. Hopefully, he does.
Mm-hmm. And if not, well, we'll still be here for duty.
Yes, we will. Talk to you later, man.
See you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye.